Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program where I ask the question, Whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? I'm your host, Brian Thompson. You are now listening to a voice from the past. As mentioned on last week's program, I recently underwent major oral surgery to correct an issue with my mouth area. The nature of this correction is, frankly, no one's business but my own, and I thank you for not pressing the matter further. But while right now, as you are hearing this, my surgery occurred in the past tense, it is still a future event for me in this present where which I am recording today's episode afore. This episode's publication means that I have survived the procedure at least well enough to move my finger in such a way that I might press the publish button on my IJP hosting provider's internet website. But I am unable to speak clearly until I am fully recovered. Said recovery should not take longer than several days, so please rest assured that next week's program will once again unite host and audience in the same timeline. But for now/then, I am in a somewhat tricky situation of not knowing exactly what should be the focus of this episode. As I do not possess any prognostication technology, such as a time mirror or chronophone, I have no way of knowing if any important events will transpire between this recording and publication. Of great concern, of course, is whether or not there will be any momentous developments in the matter of McDonald's pizza, whatever happened to it, etc. But there are actually quite a bit of happenings that could happen between now and then that I would be remiss not to mention. For example, what if U.S. President Joseph Biden were to go on a solo hiking trip and have a very large boulder fall on his arm, pinning him to the ground? It might seem very odd in such a circumstance that I offer no congratulations to the president on the courage and tenacity he showed in amputating his arm using only the serrated edge of his lower dentures so that he might escape the boulder and crawl back to his house in Washington, D.C. Or what if President Biden's arm became pinned beneath the boulder and he decided to just remain there at the bottom of a desert canyon and have his desk and bill-signing pens flown into him at the taxpayer's expense? Would it not seem odd if I express no opinion on the matter of whether this is an effective use of taxpayer money? Because you had better believe the desk and the pens will not be the end of it. If the president chooses to serve the remainder of his term in a desert canyon with his arm trapped under a boulder, the sunscreen bills alone will certainly prove to be astronomical. Would this be something any citizen could afford to remain silent about? Well, thankfully, there are some people who do not need to utilize technology like time mirrors or chronophones to peer into the future. These people are called psychics, and whether through genetics or some more metaphysical means, they are gifted with the awesome, physics-defying power to perceive realities beyond space and time. Perhaps I could use one of them to tell me if there are any upcoming events I should mention in this pre-recorded episode. Luckily for me, many of them choose to make a living sharing this miraculous ability with the public via very reasonably priced telephone consultations.
Connecting you now. Please introduce yourself.
Good day to you. My name is Phoebe.
Hello, Phoebe. My name is Brian Thompson.
Hi, Brian. How can we help you?
Well, I'm about to undergo some major oral surgery, and so I'm going to be incapacitated for at least a few days. So I was hoping that maybe you could tell me using your psychic powers, or is that the appropriate word to use for your abilities? Psychic powers?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm using the proper terminology. I was hoping you might be able to tell me if anything noteworthy will happen within those few days that I will be unaware of. I just want to know what I can expect to happen in the outside world.
You mean during the surgery?
Afterward, during my recovery period when I will be incapacitated.
Okay, you want to know what could be happening in the real world whilst you're not able to participate because you have to recuperate, right?
That is absolutely correct.
Let's have a good look here. So now you're going to have to tell me, when are you going for this surgery?
I'm going for the surgery tomorrow. My
Okay.
dentist told me that it starts at 2:30. I'm not sure if that's a joke or not because 2:30 sounds like 2:30. But I'm trying to confirm that before tomorrow. But sometime tomorrow I will be undergoing the surgery.
Yeah, so you go tomorrow, and then we have till the rest of the week, basically, what is happening in the outside world, whilst you can't participate here. No, you have to rest. You really have to rest. And not much dramatically is going to happen. Okay, little things gonna happen, yes. Dramatically, no.
I'm sorry, what was the word you were just using?
Dramatically,
Traumatic
like an
things.
earthquake or a hurricane or anything. No. Nothing like this is actually going to happen. Nobody is going to do any harm to you or your belongings. But you going on a beautiful journey during that time. And
oh, really?
with that, yeah, and a good one. That's good. No, that's really good because, this is good for you. This is like a spiritual, how should I say, evolvement for you, right? You can see what else is out there. The material world is here.
Mm-hmm.
Not always beautiful.
Oh, certainly not.
Really.
I have definitely encountered my fair share of non-beautiful things in this material world, one of which being the removal of a certain menu item from a fast food restaurant. But anyway.
Unbelievable.
I know.
And people are quite willing to fight and kill for that too. This is even the worst, right? But the feeling, not because the anesthesia is so strong or anything, but the feeling of being totally relaxed will allow you, without any big issues, to actually see what is happening in the world above this one. Because there are many stages. We here on this world, material, I call it level 3, okay?
Level 3.
Now, you will see what's happening on level 4.
Okay. And is level 4 what
They actually go up to level 7, level 8, okay? But you're going to see what's happening on level 4. And it's pretty harmless because, as I said, when we die, they really go high up, right? Or very low down. But
I guess depending.
Level 4 is pretty harmless because you see the beauty. You actually see the trees, not just to see trees, but you will hear what they have to tell you. And that's not because you're drunk. That's because you're really gonna hear. They talk. They're talking to us, and they're full of wisdom because some of these trees are hundreds of years old. They're talking. They experienced a lot.
Oh, really?
You will hear some. Oh, yeah. Really, you. If you ever had the honor of standing next to or actually touching a redwood tree, you would get the feeling that there's a message. There are messages in there.
A redwood tree?
Redwood, yeah. Especially redwoods, yeah. Because they absorb everything. And don't forget, most trees absorb the negativity and give us good back.
Okay, so while I am under the influence of whatever drugs I happen to be on post-oral surgery, I should go outside and perhaps commune with a tree?
You should go outside and enjoy nature to the fullest.
Okay.
You can sit under a tree, you can lie on the lawn, you can go for a walk in the park, you can do everything as much as nature is concerned. Stay away from shops. This is what I mean. You're going to enjoy it. You're not because you're high on the drugs, because, no, they don't give you enough to actually be high on it. at any given time,
Okay.
but you will have enough that you absolutely relaxed. And we need to be relaxed in order to do this, because if we are worked up, like as if we go to a grocery store or we go and buy a new couch or new shoes, we are worked up, and those material things aren't talking to us. They couldn't care less.
Well, what if I go outside to touch a tree and I'm so relaxed that I do not realize when I'm being, say, for instance, attacked by a bee?
You won't be attacked by a bee, because
Oh, really?
they don't attack. No, they don't attack you. They attack you if you annoy them. Okay? They attack you if you see the beehive and you use a stick and you throw the beehive down, or you disturb them. Then don't forget, bees know they're gonna die if they sting you. Okay? So they're not just so willingly stinging people around, except if you really destroy their habitat, right?
Oh, okay. I'll be sure not to sit on a hive or anything like that. So, just
I
because
don't think you have a beehive in your yard, do you?
not that I'm aware of, but I don't spend a lot of time outside, believe it or not. I just going back to something you said about the levels of reality. I assume that the highest level is where God keeps his penthouse apartment. But what's the difference between our level, level 3, and the highest level?
As far as we know at the moment, and no, we can't just look in there because that's not for us earthlings, right? But studies and everything shows that there are higher levels, okay? Like 8, 9, or 12. Really, there are higher levels.
How high do they go exactly?
I don't think there's an end. It's never ending, right?
Oh, level infinity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is eternity. We either stay on one level because we're happy there, or we can move on to the next level because we want to keep on learning what else is there, right? And it's eternity, so...
Well, if there are infinite levels, I'm sorry, but if there are infinite levels, how do they fit all those buttons in the elevator?
The buttons become love, because on the other side, on the good side, everything is based on love, right? We don't need our bodies there, so we don't need air. So everything is based on and upon love, how we love the other soul. How willing are we forgive other souls? How willing are other souls forgiving us? And this is what I say. We may have to stay on one level a little bit longer, depending what karma we carry, right? And others may just, sometimes there's a level in between. We just keep on moving on. It's and the same goes if you go to the
1 minute remaining.
underworld. You're not immediately landing at the devil's desk either when you did something wrong, right?
Learning at the devil's desk?
You still get chances. You still can make good, and you still can, confess, and you can still ask for forgiveness. That's always the biggest trick in the world. Always ask for forgiveness. People can't forgive us if we don't ask, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there are some things that I just do not know if I'm even capable, spiritually speaking, of forgiving. Like you mentioned the devil's desk, and in my mind, the devil's desk would be whichever desk belongs to the chief executive officer of the McDonald's Corporation who decided to stop serving pizza. So you're saying that I will not experience anything traumatic. I should go outside, commune with nature, and try not to sit on a beehive.
Mingle with nature as long and as good as you can. Nothing bad is going to happen to you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for your help. This has been very enlightening.
The rate for this call is $5.99 per minute. Seamless Pay keeps you in your conversation without interruptions by charging your card every 10 minutes until you end your call. You will not be charged for any unused minutes.
No, thank you. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@mcd's for exclusive benefits. And for more information, including links to social media, merchandise opportunities, etc., visit pizza@mcdonalds.com. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: Dan Dreyer, David Friedman, Grant Bacon, Jacob Ford, Joe Kajik, Kimberly King, Kyle Tarak, Nicole Besta, Pam Gabriel, Polly Egan, Will, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, Gerald Lewis, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Can You Fly Bobby, Laurel Paul, Mel, Mitchell Kordick, Opus Mareshi, Paul Fu, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.